Hey, everybody, Orange podcast. Bad. Me and Paul, we're taking it out for you today. We're gonna have a good time. We have the doom scroll. It's Monday. Don't worry, we'll get to some of the doom scroll. Yes, I'm aware there's a mass shooting going on in New York. We can't tell you anything about it because it's just chaos. We'll get into that, but our good buddy Paul. He went down over the weekend, and I want him to share his experience with modern healthcare systems and how that went for him because I have a similar experience for something else that happened to me. Paul, what the hell, dude? You went down. What, pneumonia, right?
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Happy Monday, everyone. It's good to be here. And I mean that like literally good to be here because Friday night at 8 o'clock, I had a chest pain so bad that I was convinced it was a heart attack.
And we were on a podcast at 8 o'clock. Well,
And we were
seven
on a
o'clock.
podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock, the podcast had just ended your time,
Yep.
right?
And I was hating it and I was getting, you know, over saliva in my mouth. My chest was hurting. That wasn't my left arm wasn't hurting, but both my shoulders were hurting. And I was, in my own mind, absolutely convinced I'm having a heart attack. So I grab my wife and I say, this is pretty bad. I think I need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tanya's got MS and she doesn't drive because of her MS. Her it gives her brain fog, and so
Sure.
a couple of times she has turned on the wrong side of the median, and then one time she drove out in the middle of the intersection and just stopped
Mm-hmm.
because she didn't know what to do. So she's not driving anymore, and so we called my son. He came up, picked me up, picked up Tanya, and Lindale is about 30 miles away. That's our local uh, emergency room. You know, one of those. It's Christus Mother Francis, but it's a you know rural.
Right. Like, I think in general across America, they call it like an immediate care. It's not an emergency room. It's
Yeah, it's
a
not
we'll
an
send you right
emergency
away.
room. Yeah, it's our urgent care, is what it's
Urgent care.
called,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
It's Saint uh, Teresa Christus Mother Francis, which is
Right.
what all the hospitals are around here, what my insurance is, they all in so we go in there. Um and the physician's assistant comes and she pokes and prods on me a little bit and can't make a determination. And then the ER doctor comes and he's like, this is not good. We're going to do a quick CAT scan on you just to see what's going on. So they put me in the tube. I come out of the tube. Now, grant you, Sean, this is all they said was what we're seeing is not normal. We're going to put you in a CAT scan or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in the tube down to my chest. They come back. They talk among themselves within 15 feet of me. And I'm like, hey, what's happening? And of course, Tanya, you know,
Oh,
she's she's a war criminal. There's nothing you could do to her. So she's like, I want to know what's going on with my husband, and I want to go now, and I want to know now. And if
yep.
you can't tell me, I'll dig your eyeballs out of your socket, and I'll go to the next person. So I would recommend you tell me what you know right now. And they said, we're loading him on an ambulance and taking him to Tyler, where the big adult hospitals are.
Sure.
And they did, Sean. They rode code 3. It was, let me tell you, laying in a stretcher in the back of a truck that's going code 3. I was getting a little bit of a chub. It was so awesome.
I will. I could tell my story later, but I'll tell you. Just I was called back in because the hospital discovered something after my CAT scan. After I went in the little tube, not the
Right.
MRI tube, the little tube, the
Yeah.
CAT scan. They called me a week later and said, "Hey, can you take an aspirin and come back in?" And so I went. I was like, "Yeah, sure. Hold on. I want to." My wife was RN working overnight. So I was like, "Let me go grab her." And then I'm like, "I'm gonna need shit to keep myself entertained." So I grabbed an iPad, a phone charger, and went down to this hospital, right? And they're like, "Hey, by the way, can we do another scan?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's do another scan." And that's where, right? So this was a rural hospital uh,
Right.
in Indiana, and they're like, shit, we got to take you to the big city hospital." Like, so the story's similar to yours, and they're like, they didn't tell me why. They're just like, no, no, no. And my wife,
Isn't
being an
that weird,
employee of that
Sean?
same
They don't say why.
employee, she was an employee of the same hospital system. She goes, well, can't I drive him? And they're like, no, he has to ride in the meat wagon. Right?
Yeah.
So the stories are similar so far. All
Yeah.
right, so you
So
take the
that's
meat
what I
wagon
did.
ride.
I rode the meat wagon. I get to Tyler, Mother Mary Christus Francis Hospital. They bring me in, put the tag on my arm with the QR code.
Mm-hmm.
They put the red thing on because I'm allergic to Oda do da day or whatever.
Sure.
And they start prepping me. This gal comes in, starts rubbing my arm with alcohol and tapping on me to take blood and all that. And
Yep.
I'm like, hey, listen, I'm not opposed to what you're doing, but I would like to know what the fuck is going on.
Right.
Could you tell me what the fuck is going on before we go down this road of you onboarding me into Christus Mother Francis healthcare system? Just
Yeah.
tell me what's going on. And so the ER nurse says, I I can't. I'm I'm not allowed to do that. But let me find the ER doctor and I'll bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, an hour and 15 minutes. I'm s- I'm I'm in an emergency, right? They brought me code 3 to this hospital. They transferred me to, the regular buggy, and I'm sitting, I don't want to say out in the lobby, but I'm not admitted yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for anyone with any kind of uh, reputation or leadership role or whatever to come talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, 2 hours, bro. 2 hours. I'm sitting
Wow.
on not the ambulance gurney, but the hospital version of an ambulance gurney. I'm just sitting there in the hallway. I'm in a hallway like I'm, you know, going to the meat market. And a nurse would go by and I'm like, hey, remember
Right.
me?
And I haven't ate 9 hours. Do you get any chicken nuggies?
Hey, can I get something?
Right?
And then finally, um, this gal comes up and goes, yeah, we found a room for you, Mr. Gant. We're going to put you in. And I said, listen, I appreciate that, but nobody has told me why I'm getting a room.
Why am I
Nobody has
here?
told
Right.
me why I'm getting admitted. Nobody has told me what my ailment is or not is. Could could I have that conversation? And she said, yes, absolutely, just not with me. And I'm like,
Right?
okay, so I'm going to blindly follow your instructions and hopefully I'm going to get uh, some slinging dick to come out here and tell me what's going on. And she says, that is not how I would put it, but yes, that's what's going to happen. You have to trust us to put you in the system, in the hospital. They're trying to find a room for you right now. And I said, so that tells me my condition is pretty serious.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, yeah. And I'm like, you just said, oh, yeah. Like, oh, yeah. So what does that mean? Yeah, what does that mean? And she goes, well, I'll get the doctor to talk to you. And I'm like, no, dude, that that's not how this works. You just scared the shit out of me, my wife, my son, the guys that are on the ranches on either side of me. You scared the fuck out of them by saying, oh, yeah, it's serious. So what? Yeah, I really can't tell you. I'm so sorry.
Right?
She just she just wouldn't come off of it, Sean. And so I finally get a private room. They get me all, put an IV on with this super mega antibiotic. And then, Courtney comes in and takes blood. And then Mandy comes in, takes my vitals. My oxygen's like 85 when it should be 95. And she goes, well, that's a concern. And I said, okay, what's the cause of the concern? Well, I just don't know, but you should be at 95 or better. And I'm like, okay. Sean, I'm telling you, 6 hours later, 6 hours after going to the ER in Lindale, and Lindale taking me to Tyler and put me in a room, I finally get a physician's assistant, not a real physician, but a PA.
Yeah, PA, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
comes in and goes, dude, you've got pneumonia. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, great. You couldn't have told me that 9
yeah,
hours ago.
because you know what's horrible about that? Is Tanya was in the waiting room bawling her eyes out
Sure.
because she's like, I can't lose you because I don't know what to do
Yeah, of
if you're
course.
gone. I don't know what to do.
Absolutely, of course.
And
Right.
so I, I'm like, okay, so you're saying I have pneumonia. She goes, yes, definitively, you've got pneumonia.
Yeah, pneumonia.
Pneumonia. I said, okay. Um, do we treat it with antibiotics or? Well, that's really not up for me to say. Your attending physician will say. And so, what's really cool is up on the wall, they have who Tanya is, who I am, who the physicians are, all that.
Yup.
And I'm like, okay. I thought it was a touch screen, so I go up there and I'm like, and it's not. And I'm like, okay, so this guy knows what's going on. I need to contact him. So I write him it's a message, not even an email. On the Christus thing, you have this message board.
Sure.
So, I sent him a message and go, hey, bro, got a cool name. Glad we're working together. Uh, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Right.
What's going on? And he writes back, he goes, well, we've done some testing on the multiplex demodulator, and we further tested on the hemoglobiatic particulates. We haven't really seen anything significant there, but we have seen some uh, particulate pulslicocleo in your lungs, which could indicate that may mean pneumonia. And I'm like, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, cool, bro. I didn't understand anything you said. So,
Right.
do I have pneumonia or not? And he comes back, Sean, he comes back and goes, well, the indicators are there. And on the inside, so I didn't say it to him, but on the inside, I'm like, you went 15 years to medical school and you're so liability scared, you just can't come out and say, I looked at
That's
your lungs,
exactly what I
you've
thought.
got this mass in your lungs, which indicates fucking pneumonia. And so we're going to give you this treatment.
That's the first thing I thought of because uh we could tell my experience later, but of 4 days in an ICU, and I didn't learn anything new about why I was forced to be in an ICU, they are so terrified of litigation against them because of malpractice. And look, the people that do malpractice lawsuits, they can go F themselves. Is there a time where that maybe should happen? Yes, but my answer is no. It should be like zero point 0.1 or 0.001% of the time that they're successful, because now you can't get health care because they just are vague with you. You have no idea what's going on, which scares you and your family even more than just telling you, hey, we found a blood clot in your brain, or we
Yeah.
found
Right.
pneumonia. Two different stories,
Right.
same conversation.
Yep. And that's absolutely right. And uh, further than that, Sean, is those of us guys that have been in this shit, like literally been in this shit, and have been told, walk it off.
Yeah, sure.
You're
Sure.
you get in a fucking shootout with a half a dozen people. I mean, a serious gang banging fucking shootout on a Saturday night, and your lieutenant comes to you and goes, "Hey, take Sunday off. We got a after action briefing at 9 a.m. on Monday. Make sure you're there."
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, okay. You know what I mean?
But when it comes to your, because I've had experience with this, when it comes to your health and you're going, well, what the fuck am I going to do? And nobody will tell you anything. And I'm going to tell you specifically, my wife at the time worked in that same healthcare system. And she was, as
Oh,
an
really?
RN, and
Like
she
a
was asking
counselor?
questions. And they're like, yeah, it doesn't look good. We pretty much think he's going to fucking die. And so she would translate to me, "You're gonna die," but they won't tell me why. They won't tell me anything. And I'm a fucking nurse in the same hospital system, Sean.
Wow.
Obviously, I'm not dead. I'm here. Hi.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi,
No, of course.
everybody.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. And it pissed her the fuck off. She's like, "Why won't they just tell you?" And then that gets into patient consent. Do I want this test run or not? They don't, they come in, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna run a test on you. Hold on." They inject a bunch of iodine into my veins and run me downstairs real fast so that I can be put into a MRI machine. Don't
Right.
tell me anything about it. And so you're freaking me out the whole fucking time I'm in this building.
Yeah.
Right? And they come back and they're like, the tests were inconclusive. I was like, what were you testing for? They're like, I don't know, but we were testing you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
that's my big issue. And do I still trust surgeons specifically, or top level medical professionals to do a very good job in American healthcare? Yeah, I do. And you guys can all laugh at me in the comments. In general, though, if you just heard these two stories, me and Paul, you look at it and go, "What? What?
Yeah.
Why don't they talk to you?" Because I
Yeah.
remember as a preteen and then a teenager, mom, or mostly mom, but sometimes dad would take me to the family doctor for sports physicals, and they were
Oh,
very
yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, this is weird. I want to check this out. And they would explain why it's weird. Or they would say, everything's good. Do you look
Everything's
totally normal?
good. Yeah. One way
Not
or the other.
now,
Yeah.
not in the 2020s. Not in the 2020s. They're just like, anomaly. some sort of spacecraft is entering the atmosphere. We have no idea what type of radio frequency they use. Once we identify that, we'll get back to you, and they never get back to you.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. Seriously, and lawsuits is what's brought because people are just assholes and they sue people just because they can sue people. This is why we're here, and I wish we could change that on civil lawsuits where you like if you're suing improperly, not only
Right.
do you lose the lawsuit,
Right.
but then maybe there's a criminal charge.
Yeah.
Right? So the doctors are free
Yeah.
and these RNs, these what'd you say you had? You had a nurse physician, NPs. These people are really good at what they do. They are. I'm not ripping on them. I'm ripping on the system. And
Right.
if they were allowed to just talk to you and give you informed consent for these tests and for
Yeah.
whatever, I think everybody would be happy about the American healthcare system.
Right. So Tanya went back to the house and got all of the drugs I'm taking,
Sure.
right? And brought them back. And those guys were appreciative and said, listen, we can't take the drugs that you brought unless we do this, that, and the other, which was some big process.
Mhm.
She says,
Yep.
but if you'll give me a list of what you absolutely need, I'll get it for you. And I'm like,
True.
dude, that's cool. So,
True.
pantrazepal and venfluoxetine and that kind of stuff. She went and got all that, then got me um, what I call a megatrazodone so that I could sleep without, you know, well,
Right, because there's
depending
all
on
these
what you sleep, John,
noises
you
and
know
you're
that.
hanging out in
3
this
o'clock in
weird
the morning, they
spot.
come in and they go, hey,
Yep.
we got to take blood. Do you really?
Yep. Yep.
You took blood at 8 o'clock last night. Now it's 3 in the morning, and you got to take blood again. Yep,
Yep.
you got to take blood again. And then he starts tapping on the front of my hand, and I'm like, "Let me tell you something, pal. We're gonna have an issue if you put a needle everywhere, anywhere around the top of my hand, because the fucking top of my hand is purple from the last motherfucker who couldn't find a vein. Now
Right?
you come up to my elbow where the joint is, you find something there, then you're good to go. But other than that, you're not taking blood from me." And he goes, well, that's not for you to say. And I said, I'm a boomer. I will break your fucking jaw.
Mhm.
And he's like, well, I'm not putting up with that. And he left. And
Oh,
about 10
Lord.
minutes later, yeah, a nurse who was about my age, and a young nurse that was really young. And she said, I'm so sorry, Mr. Gante, you had, problems with Gideon or whatever
Whatever.
the fuck his
Gideon,
name was.
Peter,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck his name
But,
was.
we've got this gal here, persnickety that's going to do it. Would that be okay? And I'm like, yeah, that'd be okay. I just don't like being disrespected. I don't like being talked down to, especially if you're 40 years younger than me.
Right.
And she's like, no, I understand 100%. We're going to, and then my level of care went through the roof. It was just awesome for the rest of the time.
Which is good. And again, we're not ripping on the employees. We're ripping on
No,
the system,
right.
right? And the fact that you can't, as a patient, get the information that would be beneficial to you, whether
Yeah,
it's good or bad. I
yeah.
mean, I even want the bad news. Tell me I need to call my kids and they need to get to the hospital because this is it, right? But you're not telling me. You're refusing to tell me because you're terrified of a lawsuit. Or am I misreading that? I think it's the
I
lawsuit.
don't think so at all,
Right
dude.
on.
I think you're spot on.
Hey, so I God, what a incredible story. I do have some doom scroll to run by you.
Yes,
And get your thoughts, and you've been offline for a couple days.
I have.
So this will be awesome to get your thoughts. Sydney Sweeney, American Eagle, the brand. It was dying in
Sid-
America.
So Sydney Sweeney was one
Super
of
hot,
the
super hot
bikini
blonde
gals
chick.
for American Eagle.
She's now in American Eagle commercials, promoting American Eagle jeans.
Okay.
All right. So, commercials are good. Stock price of American Eagle went up 21%, and the left on the internet are all calling her a Nazi because she's blonde haired and blue eyed. What are your
Get the
thoughts?
fuck out of here.
Nope, that's the thing. That's what's
Oh,
happening.
that make any sense, bro.
They're like, she's a Nazi. She's blonde haired, blue eyed.
He's
They're
a
talking
Nazi.
about great
Blonde hair,
genes,
blue eyes.
Gean, or sorry, Jeans. And they're like, no, see, they're correlating this human genome, GE. The left is losing their shit over this. And the stock price went up 21%.
Dude, isn't she from Arkansas or something? I mean, really, isn't
Oh,
she
yeah.
a local? I mean, like a little redneck girl? That was my impression. Is that not true?
It's a hot chick, right, Paul? That's the problem. It's a hot chick as opposed to putting on some big whale that just look with the piercings and all the progressive
Oh yeah, yeah.
tattoos everywhere. It's a hot chick. They put a hot chick in jeans and said, "Hey, it's American Eagle. Buy our jeans." And the left, the progressive left, has lost their mind. They're literally calling her a movie
A
actress.
hoe.
Like I think she does some other things, but a movie actress, a Nazi, because she has. And they're quoting blonde hair and blue eyes.
Oh, so would that not be racist, my Sean?
It's bigoted, 1000%.
Oh,
Uh,
that's not bigoted, dude.
Racist.
That's racist.
It's absolutely racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I they're so boring. It's so boring when you watch this stuff online.
It really is.
Like
It's just
that's all they
it's
could do is
all of it. So I gotta tell you, 100%. Last year, I loved all that shit. Sean, I couldn't get enough of it. You know what I mean? I just loved all those ranting and raving um, on the left and the liberals and stuff. It was just so entertaining to me. And one of the reasons was I could type two sentences in response and have them
Oh yeah, they
You
lose
know,
it.
just spin up and kick my ass for 3 or 4 days, and I'm like, I just love it because you're a Tonka toy of a human.
Why? Well, isn't that the thing though? Is that and they all post the same things. Like you're in a cult. You're a racist.
Oh
You're a
yeah,
maggot.
yeah.
And you just laugh because you're like, all you did is comment on something, right? And then
So
I
you
think
know,
these
we
these
talk
people
about
these people who claim we're in a cult, uh, they all produce the same comment below what you post, which is very cult-like, right? Calling you a maggot or a racist or
oh yeah, yeah,
or a homophobe, which is that's hilarious. Like what really gets me is that they claim, and again, then they go to you guys are just stupid hillbillies. You're retards. You're uneducated, and I always laugh back and say, I've got a college degree. Does that make me retarded? Does that make me a hillbilly?
yeah. I've had that. So I gotta tell you, Sean, I'm not good at that. So I get some 17, 18-year-old comment on my thing. Okay, baby, or something like that. I'm like, here's my address. Bring
Right?
your
Come find
skank
out.
ass out to my address,
Come find
and
out.
I'll stomp a motherfucking mud hole in you. You fucking bitch. And I never hear back. Isn't that weird, Sean?
Well, of
You
course you don't
never
hear
hear
back.
anybody go,
They,
"Oh, I'm on my way."
they probably
Nobody's ever
block
said
you.
that.
The way social media works now, they probably block you. And they probably here's the other thing you probably know, you may not know, is like these tiny little accounts. They're probably on their 20th account because they've gotten deleted from the internet for being
Oh,
just massively
yeah,
vulgar.
yeah,
And so they have
that
like
makes
7
sense.
followers. They're following like 400 people, but they only have 7 followers. And
Yeah,
they're the ones that post that shit.
yeah.
And so I actually, when I'll post something, and I see a lot of comments that are just all robotic, I don't even respond. If there's a account that looks semi-legitimate, I'll
Right.
engage with that. I don't engage with the dude that has 7 followers or 2 followers that says, you're a fucking racist." I
Oh,
just
yeah,
ignore it. I
yeah.
just ignore it, right? And I'm not saying bot accounts are always from a robot. Bot accounts can also be humans that just get
Oh,
themselves
sure.
deleted from the internet all the
Yeah,
time because they're terrible people and they say terrible, terrible shit, which gets their account deleted.
yeah. That's their vehicle.
That's
Yeah.
what they do. Yeah, it makes them feel better. Like, I got another maggot. Did you really get another maggot? Because nobody saw your post. Like 3 I looked at it in my responses, that are 30 or 40 deep, and 2 people saw your post. Did you really get me?
Yeah.
You didn't.
Ooh, look at you.
Alright. Alright, so I got another one for you. WNBA. You and I have talked about the Caitlin Clark effect. They had so much potential to actually build out a watchable product, right?
Yep.
Um, so WNBA today, the big hot news on the press is one of the players lost their wigs, walked off the floor. Yeah, lost their wig, walked off the floor, and they stopped game progress. They didn't just resume progress and say, bring in a sub, so that this chick could go re-glue her hair. And again, this is not racist for all you screwballs that like to yell at us. This is the observation that we stopped play for somebody who lost their wig. We didn't just continue play like we would have done in any other sporting event
Right.
anywhere ever. We would have just let that player walk off, subbed a player in, and they could have gone fixed whatever their need was and
Right.
come back to the bench. No, so wait, here's where it gets twisted, Paul. There was a fan that made fun of the player losing their hair. The fan got ejected from the stadium.
Wait, what?
Yup. The fan got ejected for laughing and making fun that the game had to come to a stop because somebody had to go do a wardrobe change. They had a wardrobe malfunction with their wig. It's a fan.
What?
They paid money to be there. They were having a good time, and they're like, "Holy shit! Why are we stopping the game?" Because a chick had to go glue her wig back on. Paul, that's where this has gone to a point where it's a totally unwatchable thing. And sports, for the most part,
Yeah.
are all similar, but this specific like event,
Yeah.
yeah, they kicked a paying fan. They ejected him from the game.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
That can't be true.
Nope, totally
You
true.
can't evict
Totally true.
somebody from the game because of that.
Yeah, because you were
Why
being
would
mean
you
to
do
somebody.
that?
You were being mean to somebody. This is where we're at. I mean, this is why woke is dying. But this is where we're at. This is why nobody wants to participate in professional sports. Nobody wants to deal with your woke ass schools.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to deal with your woke ass HR departments.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit and it's dying. And here's the thing with the WNBA, like I said, had a chance. They really did have a chance. They would have gotten well, they had viewers. They would have gotten viewers. They would have grown. And this is the shit they do. And Kayla Clark wasn't even playing in the game, and they still threw a paying customer out of the stadium for going, oh, she lost her wig. Mm,
Are you waiting for me to respond or someone else?
You,
Me?
yeah, we don't. Chat room's open, by the way. If you guys want to respond to any of it,
So yeah, I thought definitely someone else would respond. But it's so ridiculous. I just I listen, bro. I I know I'm a boomer. I get along with Gen X. I get along with Gen Z. I've got some good relationships there. But I gotta tell you, some of this stuff, some of these anecdotes that you're saying are just beyond my comprehension. And and I have to say, it has to be for you too. You're like, wait a minute, we're people as a social construct. This is not how we think. This is not. You're abnormal for trying to, put this forward or something. You know what I'm saying? It's just, are you out of your fucking mind, dude? And I, and I'm not trying to make it ignorant or you know, you're a fourth grader or anything like that, my default is all people are smart. It's just how they express themselves.
Well, I guess where it comes from my generation, your generation, uh, we'll just use those 2 for an example because, obviously generations vary, is that it's totally okay to make fun of people. That's where and we've been made fun of, we've been humiliated by people, whether grade school or high school, over something like something as simple as the pants you wear
Sure.
or the t-shirt you wear, and
Yeah.
that now we're watching somebody. They were having a good time. They laughed. They were ah ha ha. It was hilarious to them that a player lost a wig, and you go, "Well, Sean, stop being mean to the player who lost the wig." And I go, "No, stop being mean to the guy who thought, or the girl who thought it was funny. People are allowed to think shit's funny, right?
Exactly right, dude. Yep.
That's it. And
No, that
if
really is
you're
it. Yep.
look, the professional sport of WNBA, uh, again, I'll repeat, they could have become a thing. They chose not to.
They chose not to, dude.
But even in sports, we made fun of LeBron. We made fun of Jordan. We made fun of Tiger Woods. We made fun of Barry Bonds. We made fun of Pete Rose. We did it, and we all had a good time with it, and we'd all
Yep.
laugh about it, and we'd still tune in and watch their next game.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
but like now we're in the sport of deleting fans from the sport. Well, you can't be here anymore. You made fun of somebody. That what?
Yeah.
Really? That's where we're at?
Yeah. That makes sense.
It shouldn't make sense. And
No.
that's why the WNBA, and they had their chance, or it's gonna die. It's absolutely gonna die.
Because some of these guys, it takes, in fantasy and all that kind of stuff, it takes months for them to come up with their people. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so now, because it's taken a month or 90 days or whatever, got my crew, I got my stuff set up, and then you're going to say to me that I can't, no, no, sorry, dude, you can't do that right now.
right?
That makes no sense to me.
None. Where's
None.
the entertainment?
Yep.
What like the go back to 2000, the movie Gladiator, right? When he's fighting in the ring and he puts everyone down and he says, "Are you not entertained?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? That's what the fans want. They want to be entertained.
Sure.
They don't want to be kicked out for saying, "Holy shit, that chick just lost her wig." They want to be entertained. And go back to Friday's podcast. We were talking about, oh, I want roller derby to be more popular, especially women's roller derby, because it's hilarious. It's fun, it's awesome, and those chicks beat the living hell out of each other.
I love that.
It's
It's
awesome.
great. Yeah.
It's a great sport. It's
Yeah.
fun. You can take your kids to it. I mean, it's not lewd.
So
There's no
would,
cussing.
would there be would there be something that like Orange Podcast Bad could sponsor them or not? No, we'd have
That's
to have some.
it's
I
entirely
guess we'd have
possible.
to have some revenue, wouldn't we?
Well, yeah, of course, we would have some revenue.
Yeah.
We'll talk about how to LLC that offline, but we don't have any current revenue.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
totally. We could totally do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hold on. Let me see if I can upload this real quick. Did you see? Well, I might not even need the video. Trump is as a world leader. He went over to the UK today, and
Right.
and instead of going to their government buildings, he invited them to his property. And he was out there,
Oh, come on.
yeah, inviting them in, like from a Trump National, one of his properties. And the way the internet reacted to that was like, oh my God, they're all kissing the ring. And I looked at this, Paul, though, in a different way. This was probably a good play from Secret Service to have Trump's property locked down better than walking into, I don't know, Keir Starmer's place, something like that. And that's
Yeah.
what I saw out of it.
Yeah.
Right. And and I think given that all the attempts and potential attempts on Trump, I was like, this, like, I know people are going to lose their mind. Trump's making all the world leaders kiss his two butt cheeks. No, I think this is Trump saying, hey, we could secure my property in Ireland, or we can secure my property in Scotland. We're going to meet here. That way I know everything's secured. We'll talk from here, as opposed to going to 1 Downing Street in England. That was the read I got.
No, exactly. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So the
Downing
video
Downing
does.
Street. You're such a badass, Sean.
Well, and so the video, it's pretty funny because I should have uploaded it so we could have played it on here. The video shows Trump literally at one of his properties. Obviously it's a country club, welcoming in world leaders from the United Kingdom to talk to Trump, and then obviously they have a press conference. Then they talk
Were
a little
they
bit.
all gaggled behind him?
Mm. So no. The video is just they're all walking up and they're shaking his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Secret Service is shuffling them inside after he and I think the title of the video or the quote post of the video was Trump welcomes foreign leaders to his house in their own land, which I thought was kind of funny, but I totally get it from a security standpoint. I do. I don't see any other reason other than just doing your thing. And then you also missed. We're getting close. We got about 5 minutes, maybe a little less. Letitia James.
Where's JC?
Well, I don't know. We'll get him. He might be working tonight. You know, he does pharmacy shit. Letitia James. She's suing Trump because Trump's taken away SNAP benefits from illegals. That's the lawsuit. That's it. That's the lawsuit. You can't take away SNAP benefits from illegals.
Look at you, Sean. I
All right.
love it, dude. You're
Um,
so spot on.
ah, when is this chick gonna get prosecuted for Mortgage fraud. Probably never. Look, that's going to be a disappointment to all Republicans, but
Yep.
there it is. That's on the doom scroll. That's the news.
Well, as soon as I am able, yeah, I gotta say, maybe I won't be able. I just, I would like a spot where I could do breathing exercises. So my doctor said, I'm not letting you go today because your oxygen uptake is low.
Okay.
And I said, define low. He said, well, it's 95. I thought, okay, 95 is good, bro. And he said, well, when you walk, it drops to 85 and
Sure.
84. And he said, that's not good to go. What I didn't say was, well, do you want to keep me another day? What I
Sure.
did say was, if you'll let me go home, I'll do whatever you say. you know, so
Well, is that the thing though? And even opposite for my mother when she had a triple bypass, but they could only do a double.
oh, wow.
Right? You remember we stopped podcasting for a week or so.
Yeah.
She's like she was the other. She was. I'm not ready to leave the hospital yet. And they're like, no, 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 you're good to go. And like, this is when all of a sudden you're going to be paying gazillions of dollars. And
Yeah.
she's like, I need another day.
Right.
I
Yeah.
need another day. I'm scared to leave to go home
Yeah.
and not have you.
No, 100%. That makes sense.
Right. So again, and Paul and I will never rip on the actual employees of healthcare. We will rip on the system. Absolutely, the system's awful. Uh, Jesus, it's just I can't. I just can't. I've had my own personal experiences. Paul obviously has had his. I've had experiences with family members. I We got to make it better. Obamacare is not the way to make it better. You can all say, "Well, Trump's gonna fuck it all up," but I say I don't really know that Trump's looking at it. I think JFK is looking at it, and I hope JFK can prevent or present some really good ideas to Trump.
I, yeah, he's going to have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he really doesn't have an option, Sean. He has to put out all those talking points that he's been talking about over these past years.
Yep. All right, we're getting close. Let me, Paul. Let me tell you, tomorrow night, we got some fun stuff going on with JC. It's gonna be about COVID, but it's gonna dive deeper into that. Wednesday, it's you and I again. Friday, I'm working on getting a Maha space, MAHA space going. But we got plenty.
What?
I sent you the calendar invite link so that you can just join the calendar and
Oh,
see
okay.
what I have listed. That
Yeah.
way, you just
Sounds
at least
good.
have a broad view topic of what we're going to do that day. And you jump in, you could hang out, you could listen, you could be a participant, doesn't matter. But as we move this podcast forward, I did start
Yeah.
that calendar for just
Dude,
the
that's gonna be
members.
so epic for moving what you and I have been talking about. We've had this vision. This is really going to go for moving that vision forward.
Absolutely, and that way, all the ones that the trusted other sources, whether it's JC or Edward or you or me, we at least know the basic concept of what the next thing is on that show. And
Right.
you could just look at that calendar and go, oh, we're talking about roughly this. Fuck yeah, I want to be there. Right. I totally want to. Or it could be like, I can't join, and that's totally okay. And I've got Edwards working on getting some guests, maybe for the week after this, all about Canada. And I was like, and he called me, asked me, he's like, hey, can I do that? I was like, yes, I will put it on the calendar so everyone knows we're talking about Canada, and specifically, we're talking about how Canada is still, even though most of Canadians know or believe they're a free country, that they aren't. And we wanted to bring some people on and talk about that. Like, and then we'll just walk through these events as they happen in life, and we'll put it on that shared calendar for the four of us, and you guys will know. And you'll be like,
Right.
I need to be here. I don't
Yeah.
need to be here,
No,
but I
I
want to be here anyways. At least
yep.
I'm going to listen, right?
Yep.
And then I've got the regulars, the Monday show, which is me and you, and then the Friday show, which is a Fun Day Friday, right? And we just, I don't know, we talk about airplanes and gas engines and shit like that. Good fun. So for,
Yeah.
for all the listeners.
I'm just uh I gotta tell you honestly, if I'm feeling this, I think I'd like us to do this all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're going. And for those of you listening, or that maybe will watch this later, we want to have you on too. We really do.
Absolutely.
We want to have
That's
a
what I'm
conversation,
getting at. I didn't say it right, but that's what I want. Yeah.
right? That's why we bring Nick on. Nick starts conversations. Nick is a great guy. Nick is looking to put together a thing that within 5 years he can be a self-sustaining farmer in East Texas. Like,
Wow.
but he also riffs on me all the time because, he, even though he quotes himself as a conservative, he's a libertarian to the fact that he believes that we shouldn't even have a government. This, like, we are not opposed to listening to any stories, and we will banter back and forth. And I think that's why this show is going to be better than most,
Oh
Paul.
yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, totally. Well, I mean, listen, let me throw this out there, Paul. Sean.Stromb with a B, STROMB, at Gmail. If you want to come on the show, send us an email.
Yeah. Got you. So, can I tell you? I had that already, Sean.
I know you did. Thank you so much. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, get some of your Texas friends, get them on, and tell them they can also come on phone call only, if they want to be anon and not show their
Yeah.
face
That,
on
and,
screen.
and I got to tell you, that's what I'm saying. You want to be anonymous, you got to do it this way. If you want to be a pump anonymous, we can do it this way. It's a different way.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm so glad you are back out of the medical clink, but
Oh my God, my chest hurts so bad, Sean.
Jesus, we're over. I obviously I can talk to you later. We're way over the time limit. We got to go.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.